Hey guys, welcome back to Woke Wednesdays, where we're talking about all of the macro details associated with your real estate transaction. Today I am joined by Catherine Robinson and Kathleen Buys of First American Title here in Southern California. And one of the questions that I always get is, what are these title fees? What does it cover? Why am I paying for this? What does it do? So I just like to give you guys some information on title insurance, what it is, what it does, how it protects you, and all the benefits of it. So, Catherine, what is title insurance?
Thank you for having me. So to keep it super simple, title insurance guarantees the past. When you open your transaction, when you have your buyer that you're obviously putting a loan together for, we open a preliminary title report that allows the title company to look back and see if there's anything recorded against the property, such as liens, deeds of trust that require payoff, with regard to the individual that owns it, but also on the property that could possibly compromise your new owners that are looking to buy the property. And ultimately, we work with the sellers of that property to remedy any of those issues that might come up.
So typically when we're opening up escrow and getting our title report, that's the prelim or preliminary title report.
Correct.
For all that jargon out there, the prelim stands for the preliminary title report.
Correct.
We all use that. But what you're doing is, so the title company is doing their research based on the seller, making sure that there are no additional liens, or that the liens are reported on the preliminary title report. We want to make sure that we can pay those off when we go to transfer, right? And so then what's a document or something that the buyers may need to complete or fill out to make sure that there's no other outstanding information, or the sellers are filling out to make sure there are no other liens or anything like that?
So sometimes, and actually we see it quite a bit, it's a very normal practice, our sellers are actually required to fill out a statement of information, also known as an SI, that does ask you for the basic information, first, last, social security number, and those items are then run through our title unit to ensure that there's nothing attached to the individual that owns the property, so that when the buyers close on the transaction, that we can absolutely ensure and guarantee that there is a clean title transfer.
Well, that's phenomenal. That's great information. Would you say that if the seller or the buyers don't turn in that paperwork, it could delay finding things out if things come up?
Well, ultimately, we would appreciate very expedited paperwork, if you will, from both parties. But really, when it comes to the statement of information, it's the sellers that ultimately need to fill it out. Exactly. And they will work through this entire process with their escrow officer. So this is where your escrow officer comes in. And ultimately, open communication and having that relationship certainly helps make the process seamless.
Excellent. You know, one of the biggest concerns that we get is, well, why is it coming up now? Why is it happening at the last minute? Didn't we know about this thing, before? And I would say in that case specifically, sometimes the liens don't show up in the first round. They show up in the second round, if we're confirming that. But sometimes the information is just not ready to get pulled, or something comes up at the last minute. So that sometimes it does happen.
And there is a gap. There is a date of issue for the preliminary title report.
SIs.
And as well as with the SI, when the sellers actually file or fill out that SI and it's been run through the system, with that statement of information, which is one of the reasons why we like that information to get in as quickly as possible, if something pops up, it pops up sooner in the transaction rather than toward the end of the transaction, in which case we can, again, fix it and get the transaction moving so that it closes when you're supposed to.
Excellent. So the title insurance, just to recap, title insurance protects you against any possible liens in the past that were supposed to be covered by the seller if for some reason they weren't